La Higuera is a tiny, isolated village in the arid foothills of the Andes. The nearest town is 2.5 hours away on a dirt road. But this is a well-traveled route, part of what has become the Che Guevara Trail. This renovated former schoolhouse is where the Argentine Marxist revolutionary Ernesto Che Guevara was taken when captured and then executed by the Bolivian army. Today, it's the village museum, and each month a different local woman is responsible for unlocking it and showing visitors around.
There is an association with 10 of us. We then share all of the money we collect.
Among the visitors, 2 German students who'd come to learn more about Che.
I'm reading some books about him, and I think he's a very impressive man, and it's nice to be here and to, well, it gives me like goosebumps to be here. Yeah.
La Higuera's population has shrunk to just 80 people. Most of the young have left to find work elsewhere. Ismael Flores ekes out a living growing corn. His wife is one of the museum guides, while he's available to take tourists on the 3-hour hike to where Che was captured. Without the tourists, he fears, this would be a ghost town.
We would probably be abandoned, forgotten, because remote areas are not usually in the eye of the authorities.
The Che Trail was created 10 years ago, partly with funds from Britain's development agency to help bring tourists to this impoverished region. The center of the village has turned into a miniature Che Guevara theme park with statues of him, as well as portraits painted on many of the walls. In anticipation of the upcoming 50th anniversary of his death, many of Che's portraits were cleaned up while his statues were painted black, green and gold. The town of Valle Grande is also on the Che Trail. It's where his body was taken by helicopter to be paraded before the press. He was laid out in this former hospital laundry room, which today is covered with visitors' graffiti. Che was buried in secret in the corner of a nearby airfield, only to be rediscovered in 1997, his remains flown back to Cuba. Today, there's a mausoleum covering the site, and it isn't just tourists who come to pay their respects. Some locals now consider him a saint.
His soul is a miracle maker for me. I come here now and then and light a candle and ask him for things, and he makes them happen.
The Bolivian authorities buried Che Guevara in a hidden grave because they didn't want the site to become a place of pilgrimage. Now there's the